This is a medical model of chain of transmission of disease, which includes three things: source or reservoir, mode of transmission of disease, and third is the susceptible host. The two things, first two, A and B, that is source and reservoir and the modes of transmission of disease, this I have discussed. The third remaining is the susceptible host. Here host means human being, maybe a male or a female, irrespective of that. So, also I have told you that there are these two weak points in the chain from where the disease agent try to enter into the body of the susceptible host. Maybe via any vehicle or a vector, that is the mode of transmission, or directly from source or reservoir to the susceptible host. What is meant by susceptible host? Susceptible host means the people at risk who are likely to get the infectious agent into their body. So people at risk are called as susceptible host. So now there is one term called as host defense mechanism, fighting power of our body. Or in simple word, what is the level of your body resistance to fight against the infective agent? If the infective agent is trying to enter into the body, your body resistance has to be such that body must fight against that infectious agent. So that is called as host defense. This host defense may be a specific or a non-specific, may be humoral or a cellular. So depending upon that, or depending upon the type of body immunity, the infectious agent tries to enter into the body. And once the disease agent enters into the body, the disease process starts. So best way to increase the host, that is body resistance power, maybe to the specific disease or a non-specific disease, so that the body must get better resistance power to fight against the particular disease agent. Even if the disease agent enters into the body, if the body resistance is the better way, at the highest peak level, then disease may not progress. So this body resistance is achieved by better nourishment, better food supply, number one. Number two is by giving the immunization. So what is immunization? We give these vaccines, maybe oral, intradermal, intramuscular or subcutaneous. Whatever the way of giving this vaccines, the aim is to increase the body resistance. Our aim is to increase the host defense mechanism at highest level or at the peak of this peak level of this defense mechanism has to be achieved. So for study purpose, this vaccination or what we call as immunization is classified under 5 headings. Congress of Punjab. So five types are लिखने की जरूरत नहीं, just listen. You can read from my book or you can follow my YouTube channel. That is the easiest way. Wherever you sit, you can look to that YouTube channel, whatever the topic you want. 10, 15, 20 minutes topic, not more than 20 minutes. So, for study purpose, remember, the full question of 20 marks is asked on immunization. And this is the simplest way of teaching immunization or a vaccination. Nobody will teach you immunization or vaccination after my lecture. Because after maybe a year or 6 months, you will become intern. So, carefully listen. So, there are 5 types of immunization. Active immunization, passive immunization, combination of active and passive immunization. Fourth is chemoprophylaxis, and fifth is the non-specific measures. Among all these, just concentrate on first 2. Rest 3 are only supportive. Active immunization, passive immunization. aim of immunization is to strengthen the host defense mechanism. This is medical terminology. In layman terminology, the aim of vaccination or immunization is to increase the body resistance power. This is layman terminology. Very simple. Now coming to the active immunization. Remember that there is a difference between active and passive. What is meant by active? Active means it needs force. Nobody will ask you when you are children, if I am going to give you vaccination through oral, intradermal or injectable. Nobody will ask you. You will be picked up by your parents and forcibly polio vaccine is given, BCG vaccine is given. So that is called as active immunization because here the force is needed. Passive immunization, person voluntarily goes there. This is the difference. So active immunization, what are the vaccines we are given, which are given actively? Number one is polio. Number two is BCG. Number three is this measles, mumps, rubella, DPT. These are the vaccines are given actively. Why we want to give? Because we don't want to suffer from those particular diseases. See, there are 6 major diseases which are seen in the children age group. Highest mortality means death rate is seen because of these 6 diseases in children. The diseases, how to remember it? Very simple formula. DPT, MTP. ये तो कोई भी बच्चा ख्याल रखे. So, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, measles, tuberculosis, polio. These are the 6 major killer diseases in children. So, we give active immunization to this specific age group. So, in introduction of this active immunization, I am describing active immunization. These are the vaccines given against the particular diseases, just to reduce the mortality, death rate of the children. Number one. Number two is, even if we give actively this immunization, if the pathogenic dose of a particular disease agent is more as compared to the body resistance, vaccine will not work. There is no 100% guarantee of that after giving the immunization, the particular disease may not occur. There is no 100% guarantee because if the pathogenic dose of a particular disease, this is also applied to the COVID-19 vaccine. If the pathogenic dose or virulent dose of a particular disease, or in a simple way, if the infective agent load is too much, vaccine becomes ineffective, or its efficacy is reduced, maybe 50%, 60%. But so this is number one. Number two is, every country has got their own immunization schedule. Even though WHO has given the particular immunization schedule, but if you consider, every country has got different specific type of religions, customs, habits, economical condition, nutritional status. Depending upon these conditions, every country has got different immunization schedule. So, but aim is to give the 100% immunization. But so to avoid all these few negative things about the immunization, the well thought out program has been set by the WHO so that 100% immunization occurs, 100% population immunization occurs. So this includes 4 things. Number one is, every vaccine has to be epidemiologically relevant. Means if there is an outbreak of COVID, so now today there is an outbreak of COVID, different variants are coming. So a vaccine should be epidemiologically relevant. So COVID-19 disease is there. There are the vaccine called as Covaxin, Covishield, Pfizer, Moderna. Different types of vaccines are there. Sinochem. So the vaccine has to be epidemiologically relevant. Means epidemiologically relevant means at a given time, at a given place, large number of persons, large number of population is affected by particular disease. So that is called as epidemiologically relevant. Nowadays, COVID-19 disease is there, vaccine is there. So this is relevant. Number two, the vaccine has to be such that it has to be accepted by each and every person in the given population. Number three, the vaccine should be economically relevant. If suppose the same vaccine, we have got Covaxin and Covishield. In USA, there is Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson. The Moderna costs around 7,000 rupees. Vaccine dose in USA. Here, our government is giving free of cost. So it should be epidemiologically relevant. It should take care of each and every person. It should be economically relevant. Third is, it should be age specific again, because I told you these are the 6 major killer diseases which are seen in children age group. So the children age group has to be vaccinated 100%. Apart from all the customs, beliefs and religions, still government spends lot of money for canvassing, propaganda, convincing the people about the vaccine. Still, few religions, few communities, they are against taking the polio vaccine as far as this COVID-19 vaccine. But that has not gone. There is no scientific reason for that. Only to oppose the particular government program. These few things occurs in mainly in democratic country. Remember, if in China or in Russia, nobody listens to you. Here only our country, our India, because of democracy, few people are troublesome. Okay. So vaccine should be, remember these 4 things: epidemiologically relevant, economically relevant. It should be, it should take care of all the religions, customs, habits in the community, and it should be it should be ज्यांना झोपत नसतं. संताजी नानाजी दिसतो ते औरंगजेबाला तसं दिसतं. 2 वाजता पण मीच दिसतो उभारल्यानंतर. So it should be age specific, target the age. So this is about the active immunization. Now what are the immunization schedules which are given by the WHO and accepted by our Central Health Ministry? National Immunization Program, and there is expanded program of immunization. National Immunization Program started in our country as soon as our country became independent. But actual implementation of this National Immunization Program was started in our country in 1975, which covers all the group of population, almost all 100% population is covered. Number 3 is, but actual implementation of this program started on 19th November 1984, and this program was named after the death of our late Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi. So that is a national immunization program. It includes, just concentrate, this includes immunization immunization schedule. So which vaccine has to be given to which age group and what is the route of administration of that vaccine. So at birth, just after birth, 3 vaccines are given. Number 1 is BCG, given at the left deltoid area. Everybody has got a mark. Just you go and observe your left deltoid area. There is a small mark, permanent scar, maybe white or black, depending upon your color. But there is a mark under the skin. If your parents are given BCG vaccination actively too. So BCG is at birth, BCG is given at left. This site is fixed. Remember, this is asked in myopsy. BCG is given at birth. 3 vaccines are given. BCG at intradermal, left deltoid area. Oral polio, the route of transmission is oral. The route of administration is oral. Third is hepatitis A, intramuscular injection. So 3 vaccines at birth. At 6 weeks, again 3 vaccines. Number 1 is hepatitis, oral polio, not only 2. 3. Number 1 at birth, BCG, polio, hepatitis C. 6 weeks, DPT, then the oral polio, hepatitis C. 9. DPT, oral polio, hepatitis C. Hepatitis A, intramuscular. DPT, left lateral aspect of the thigh, intramuscular. Left lateral aspect of the thigh. These sites are fixed. Oral polio, orally, route of administration. So 6, 10, 14 weeks. These 3 are given. Then directly the 9 months. Measles, mumps, rubella vaccine is given at subcutaneously at left ventral aspect of the forearm. These are the fixed sites. Unless there is some anatomical problem, right side can be given. But in normal person, normal anatomically, these are the landmarks where the vaccines are given. After the 9 months, then comes the 15 months, 20 months. So, what are given is DPT and this DPT and DPT is given and vitamin A is given. DPT, vitamin A. So it is given at after the 15 months. After the 15 months, then the 5 years. DPT is again given, and this tetanus DPT is given, and the next is the what is given is typhoid tablet capsule is given orally, and vitamin A. Vitamin A is given after the 12 weeks only. Dose that is given orally up to the age of 15 years. So 5, 10, 15. So once the age of the child is above 5 years, DPT is not given. What is given at the 10th year is given is the DT. Only DT. Diphtheria and tetanus. Pertussis is not given because pertussis, dangya khokla, whooping cough is seen before the age of 5 years. So at 10 and 15 years, DT, typhoid is given. So at 15 years, only tetanus toxoid typhoid is given. So this is the national immunization program. But there is one more program called as expanded program of immunization. Expanded program of immunization means this is the Main aim of expanded program immunization is to achieve the 100% immunization against these 6 major killer diseases. So what is given is, in this is, at birth, BCG, polio, hepatitis C. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks, the same are repeated. So name is different only, the things are same. So this is all about the active immunization. Now coming to the passive. I will finish with you. The passive immunization program means passive immunization is given after the infection. Once the person is exposed to the infection, then the passive immunization passive immunization is given. What are the diseases where the passive immunization is given? Number 1 is cholera vaccination. When there is a large get together at Pandharpur, there is a cholera vaccination center established before we enter into the Pandharpur city. So cholera vaccination. Number 2 is rabies vaccination after the dog bite. उसका काटने के पहले इंजेक्शन नहीं देते, उसका काटने के बाद. So passive immunization. कुत्ते के ऊपर जो होता है ये बात नहीं अभी. So what is plague? Plague, then the rabies, hepatitis B, all these passive immunization given once there is a outbreak of the disease or the disease has started. Second is third is combination of active and passive. The same thing always follow. Fourth is chemoprophylaxis. Chemo means drug. Prophylaxis means prevention. In this, the disease process has started and full-fledged disease is seen. So specific drugs are given against that particular disease. That's why it is called as chemoprophylaxis. Suppose there is a epidemics of conjunctivitis. Then the specific ointment is given. Drug is given, erythromycin ointment. Locally. Orally, azithromycin, erythromycin tablets can be given just to get that disease under control. If cholera outbreak is there, then the specific drug is chloramphenicol is given. So specific drugs are given, that is called as chemoprophylaxis. And last is non-specific measures. So in non-specific measures, what is achieved is better, good quality drinking water supply, good quality housing conditions, well ventilated houses, so that automatically air purification occurs because of the flow of the wind. So, and keeping your house in and around your house, the sanitation or the cleanliness in and around the house has to be maintained just to prevent the mosquito breeding and just to prevent the housefly breeding. So these are the non-specific measures. So this concludes this topic.